kind of, in a way, what Azir offers of having priority in this matchup, but also you have the ability to just get a bit more stuck in with the boys.
We love getting stuck in with the boys. Overall, you know, pretty standard team compositions on both sides in terms of the meta, but you know, it's a bit same but different at the same time. PSG Talon up against Hellpigs for our second match tonight. Let's see if PSG can be the first ones to bring themselves to 4 wins. Now, already going into the game, I have to question Taco 2's skin choice. The Superfan Gragas, you can see the spectators zooming in on that. They're clearly not happy about it either. It feels like there are, you know, so many better skin choices you can pick, especially on the tournament realm where you have all the skins available. What are your thoughts?
I've never thought about that before, honestly. The Gragas skin. I'm not sure which one is the best. I think the Scuba Gragas actually is pretty good.
Yeah, all the man, I can't actually remember the Gragas skins now, but like the winter one as well. I feel like that one's a pretty decent one. But I feel like regardless, this one is definitely not it. Critical blunder from Taco 2. Thankfully, Taco 1 has a much better skin choice for himself. But Archer actually gonna end up on opposite sides with Taco 1. Gonna trade pretty aggressively with the Counter-Strike available too. Gets a pretty good trade actually. Dropping Taco 1 to half HP. Still going for the trade as well with the lethal tempo available and proc. Taco 2. Taco 1 rather.
Spacing.
Oh my. Archer comes out way on top there. That is a huge trade for him. Taco 1 does have the Doran's shield to be able to heal back up, but still, you know, makes him lose a lot of pressure in this early laning phase.
Yeah, amazing start to the lane. Now, I have to see what are the junglers going to do here. Taco 2, he is in the area and the Jax is pushing, but I'm not sure there's enough health on the Cassante to really contest it. Michael and Woody, yeah, they're getting good trades down here.
Yeah. Very Yumi trading aggressively onto Lucian Nami. Now, this is actually pretty clever. I've never thought about it before, but I have mentioned previously that, you know, the Lucian Nami, it actually finds its peak effectiveness at levels 2 and 3. So level 1 is actually a window for them where they actually are considerably weaker. So good on Waco and Woody to identify that and make sure they're taking advantage as much as possible before, you know, they start hitting those later levels.
Now, both junglers might actually meet here. Husha, he has a bot priority, but doesn't currently have the mid priority. Ooh, I think he's kind of in trouble here. He has the phase rush.
Yeah, he's trying to run out of there. Oh, but Taco 2 has the Predator as well. It does get popped. Heal expended for Woody. Taco 2 is still going in here.
He's still going.
I'm not sure why he's looking for an extended trade, but doesn't matter too much in the end, forcing Husha out of his own jungle and securing his blue buff for his own taking.
Okay. So I don't think anything really comes of that. There just wasn't enough prio in mid or bot to do anything more, but Husha, he did manage to get out without using flash, so can just reset and go back to that top side. The mid prio kind of going as you'd expect. Hong2 is building up a little bit of a lead. And I think this matchup, it used to be that Sylas kind of just outscaled Akali, and I think that's even worse now because the Rod of Ages makes it really, really difficult for Akali to kill in the side lane. And actually, this matchup was played at Worlds between Zeka and Scout. And in the side lane, Zeka's Sylas managed to pick out like 3 or 4 solo kills. So it gets pretty insane if you do get ahead on the Sylas. Actually looking for a gank here. Husha is in the area.
Oh, Archie gets the stun. Taco 1 on the run here. Does get rooted down, but is going to slide on out of there. Out of harm's way. Actually manages to save the flash as well. So good gank evasion from him.
Yeah, nicely done. Top lane CS is still pretty much even. It's kind of surprising given the low health bars. I feel like with Doran's shield and second window, it is pretty hard to ever actually kill people.
Yeah, it feels like Taco 1 already recovered from that, you know, devastating trade level 1. So yeah, nice item, I guess.
Yeah, I wonder what would have happened if he didn't get that level 1 trade, because this is actually kind of looking good for Taco at this point.
Ooh, Taco 2 trying to get revenge on Husha here. Has the Predator popped and gonna try and force him out as much as possible. It seems like the Gragas has been able to find some value so far against the Maokai, and actually going to be looking straight top as well. Archer's really far up. How does he not expect this?
He doesn't have a ward to jump to.
Might have been the flash. Gets stunned up and barreled. Burns the flash, but actually might actually...
Okay.
Wow, managed to get out with the Counter-Strike stun onto Taco 2 and the leap.
Yeah,
Flash
nice
still
escape.
used.
There's a little bit of trading coming in back and forth here. Nice dodge in the bubble as well at the back end of that. And Yubao, he actually just goes for the blasting one. So I think he still will be building the Rod of Ages, but picks up a lot of early game power here in the Oblivion Orb. Or Hong2. Definitely pretty good for the laning phase.
Yeah, but does, delay him from getting that prototype earlier. A little bit. Yubao takes 6 first. But quickly matched by Hong2. Surprise, surprise. Overall, though, pretty stable on the map so far. Doesn't break from the excitement we've had. Oh, stunned up. Waco takes a pretty decent trade from Tide and IC8. Looking to see what damage they can get on the return end of that.
Yeah, the lanes so far, there has been a bit of trading back and forth, but ultimately, nothing of value has really been gained, and I think the stable lanes really favor PSG here. If there isn't too much chaos, I think the team with Zeri and Yuumi, like especially Yuumi, does just have that easy to execute late game team fighting. So I'm liking PSG's chances so far. We have to see, will Hellpigs find an opening anywhere? They have the dirt completed on Tide's Lucian. So they might be able to get something done around this first dragon.
Yeah, Husha looking in on Hong2. Hong2 burns the flash, but actually gets chained up and it's rooted. Dropped it very low, but Husha, he doesn't want to be there at all. I think Hong2 might actually pick up a kill here.
Doesn't have any energy yet. I think he's got it though.
He's probably got the shuriken. He's got the speed up. First blood going the way of Hong2. That's how you like to start that fight. Taco 2, meanwhile, on the bot side. Not able to get too much there.
Hong2 died somehow. I'm not sure what happened there. It started off really well, right? Like managed to get a kill in the 1v2, and then I think he died coming back to lane. I guess Yubao cheesed him from a bush, so...
Yeah, I mean, good heads-up play from Yubao, I guess. I hope we get to see that again, because I'm curious how that actually unfolded, but in the meantime, bot side, Taco 2 trying to help Tide and ICA get this wave in. Waco and Woody trying to fight back, but ultimately, they're going to be the first ones to base. Taking a look on the top side as well, Arja is actually struggling a little bit now into the Cassante matchup. Definitely a far cry from what we saw at level 1.
Yeah, and Dragon has actually not started here. Okay, let's take a look at the replay. So it's initially pretty well played from Hong2. I'm surprised that Husha actually commits onto this. Yeah, tries to get out with a phase rush, but can't. Does end up going down, and I guess Yubao, yeah, he just runs straight into this bush, I believe. And Hong2, if Stars isn't showing on the mid wave, like where is he going to be? Manages to cheese a kill off the back end, which is a really, really important pickup.
Yeah, definitely evens up the score, but obviously Hong2 did pick up first blood, so he gets a little bit extra gold. But definitely a good play on Yubao's side to get that return kill. It's going to get him that little bit closer to his Rod of Ages spike as well. Hong2 trading in pretty aggressively.
Yeah, pretty hard to trade into the Akali Shroud, but can just back away. There's a fair amount of sustain here. And I think PSG, they're down a bit of gold, but I'd say they're still winning, given their composition. Top lane's looking a little rough, though. It's normally pushed under tower. And Taco is actually starting up the Herald here. Does have the mid priority. And the Akali is nearby as well. Yeah. So this should be picked up.
Hong2 is pretty strong right now on the Akali, so Husha, not sure if he's aware or not, but is going to be rotating to the other side of the map. He should be aware, they have vision on it. Yubao trading in, hits the chains onto Hong2 in the Shroud, but Perfect Execution comes out. Does get rooted down twice, actually, but with the second dash, is going to be able to make his way out of that one. In the meantime, Rift Herald picked up for Taco 2 in the jungle.
Yubao.
Taco 2 might be looking here. Flash is out, actually. Probably a necessary flash. That explosive cask could have been pretty painful for him.
And actually, they might look again. They know the ults are missing. And I think Maokai and Saz, they have to feel like they're a bit stronger without these ults.
They're closing in on Taco 2 from different angles.
There's no flash.
Barrel is dropped. Ooh, the explosive cask actually knocks him to safety. We'll see if they can finish him off here. No, Yubao. Critical misplay from them means that they won't be able to pick up that kill. And now it does feel like Hellpigs, at least for the meantime, are in control. Waco and Woody trying to disrupt that on the bottom side. On the Zero Yuumi, but hard to find trades that are, longer than a few auto attacks against Lucian Nami.
Yeah, Yubao maybe needs a bit more Gragas practice. I think that definitely should have been a kill picked up. Unfortunately, was not. And another kill going over to Silas would have been really, really good in this game. At the same time, though, you're still happy with the game going slowly. It just would have been a nice little extra on top. And this dragon still hasn't been picked up at 10 minutes by either team. So a lot of scaling just been left off the board, but neither team really feels like they can commit the resources for it. Sante finishes the Jack show already.
Well, that is really early, and already, you know, he's already been very dominant in this matchup so far. So you can only imagine it's going to get a little bit worse for Arjun until he's able to pick up his Divine Sunderer. And it seems, yeah, Hellpigs, you know, they're winning in top, they're winning in mid. Bot lane's going alright. This is playing out pretty well for them. Oh, has to actually flash the final chapter, IC8. No flash available. Now Tide and IC8 both actually dropped very low. Wake and Woody on the other side, full HP. Somehow they managed to find a very favorable trade, but they do burn both ults as well. So you have to imagine for this Infernal Drag, might be a potential opportunity for the Hellpigs. Yubao has the Akali ult available now again. They're going to be walking down.
Yeah, they do have that mid-jungle priority. They can look to control this river and maybe look to start drag. Hellpigs, I don't feel like they can find anything here. Their bot lane is just a bit too weak. Lost a lot of health.
They do have both their ults available though, which is going to be really important if they can play their distance properly. But so far, no team really committing too hard to the Dragon. Arjun finding a very long trade onto Taco. Oh, Taco actually might be in trouble here. Leap Strike will be up soon. Does hop back in, but Taco sliding out. As you like to see from the tank DPS champion Cassante. But IC8 taking another hefty trade, and Husha now is in the area. Taco 2 is opted to go top side, so these guys are left all alone. Malco does come out, is going to root him up. Cleanse popped. Nami ult
okay, the TP does come out, so decides to disengage. Top lane, Arjun picks up a solo kill and gets...
I wonder if he did that on purpose.
No, I think he thought he stepped out of the tower range, but unfortunately didn't. But still pretty good.
I feel like it's not too bad for him. You know, he denies the assist goal from Taco 2 at least. You know, maybe there's
it's a good death.
It's a good death. But good play from Husha, I think. You know, making sure that as soon as he sees that Hong 2 TPing in, doesn't go any further, because it did look pretty juicy. And honestly, if it was me on the Maokai, I would have gone for that 10 times out of 10. Clearly why I don't play jungle. But Hellpigs actually picking up the first turret of the game on the top side. Most of that gold, or all of that gold, going to Taco 2.
Yeah, so Arjun, he got a really good trade before, and then he fully commits on the Cassante, and I think he had it here. I think he just thought the aggro was reset, but unfortunately not. Does snipe him at the very end.
Yeah, you can see him standing still at the end there. It's the express of shame. Oh, Taco 1 actually coming bot side now. So they are maybe... I'm not sure what they're doing with their lane assignments here. You know, Titan and IC are still on the bot side. Taco 1 potentially feeling like there's not much he can do on the map until his waves start coming in. Seems like Hong 2... Oh, man. They seem... I don't know what they're doing. They're committing 4 people down to bot side. But because of this, Arj is able to push out top side completely uncontested. They will pick up a couple plates here for Tide, but I don't know if they can sustain it. Taco 1 actually expending TP to go back up top side. It's actually not too bad for him, I feel like.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good use of TP there. I do think that Hellpigs, they've managed to pick up a lot of gold, but it is pretty much all on Taco's Gragas, which is... I feel like it's decent to have gold on him, but it's not the most valuable member of your team for sure. And I think having that long lane is actually probably better for Arj on the Jace. So there's definitely pros and cons, I think, to taking that top tower so early. Did get a lot of plate gold though.
Yeah, you can see Hellpigs 2k gold ahead. In the meantime, though, PSG have picked up 1 dragon. Yeah, lots of tower plate gold actually. Almost 1k more than PSG were able to pick up. So this definitely is their window in the game to, you know, try and accelerate their lead. Something that they have had a bit of trouble before in the past. PSG really just biding their time and waiting until they can hit more considerable spikes on their key champions. Yeah,
they have. Hellpigs have this lead, but I'm not sure if they can actually use it for anything. Maybe if they can pick up this next Herald and use it to break the mid tower, we could see something happen. But otherwise, Drag's not for 3 more minutes. And realistically, Drag is not a win condition for Hellpigs this game. I think by the time they'd be able to stack 4, they'd probably be pretty significantly outscaled. So gonna have to play just for fights and kind of towers and stuff instead. Actually commit a lot of members to this. Yeah. They definitely want to fight.
Hellpigs committing 4. Tide is on his way up to the mid lane as well. And I think PSG should probably give this one up, but Husha is trying to see what he can gather from sitting in that bush. But I think for the most part going to be conceded. And Hellpigs doing a good job so far of accelerating their lead and making sure that they're still picking up stuff and denying it from PSG Talon. But they definitely do feel like they are on the clock. They need to keep this sort of pace going. Hopefully for the next 10, 15 minutes or so. Try and build that gold lead up even more.
Yeah, now that...
Yubel looking in, heads Tidal Wave available, and the final chapter as well. Tidal Wave, tied on the backside, dropping the killing as well. Husha coming in to support, but there's going to be a disengage. Both ults burn for the side of Hellpigs.
Yeah, a lot of stuff used across the board, but I kind of like it for Hellpigs. Hong2 doesn't feel confident enough to go for this tower, but a lot of CS is lost on the side lane, and Hong2 actually has built up a pretty significant mid lane lead now, although still doesn't have his first item, and hopefully he can pick it up now. Still doesn't have enough gold for it, actually.
On the top side, Archer has picked up his Divine Thunderous, so having a lot more luck in these trades against Taco. I wonder where this Rift Shield is going to be dropped. You have to imagine it's on that mid tower to try and take that one down. Yep, Taco 2 looking to try and open up the map even more. Good looks for Hellpigs. Definitely good looks. That bot lane outer turret is also pretty low as well. Hong2 is going to be pushing into that pretty quickly.
Yep, this tower will go down. I think they can use this to start opening up the map, try and knock down that bot tier 1 as well. You don't want to give too much gold to Arjet's Jax on the side lane. So are going to send Taku's Cassante to clear this out. Now, Dragon's in 40 seconds. I think that if you're Hellpigs, you still want to fight these. Obviously, you don't want to give the Dragon win condition to PSG, but I think it's pretty unrealistic to stack Dragons up at this point. You're probably just using the Dragon as an opportunity to fight rather than actually caring about who gets the Dragon, which I think does kind of give you some options, right? It means you can go for some really wide flanks. It means that you don't have to fully commit to stealing Dragons away and stuff like that. You can just play completely for winning that fight, or even just taking the fight afterwards.
Definitely do agree. Meanwhile, for PC Talon, feels like their options are limited for now. They have all hit their first full items, but you have to feel like Hellpigs are a little bit stronger in the current moment. Despite that though, Husha and Woody looking to see what they can get onto Hong2, forcing him to take some damage. Will probably hop over the wall here with the Shuriken.
I think his E was cancelled.
Yeah, so actually going to be dropped down to half HP, which is going to be pretty important if there is a fight soon. You definitely don't want your Akali to start with that fight, with less than full HP.
He has TP soon. I think maybe you just delay and then look for a TP flank. Actually, he has a Nami to heal him up.
Yeah, Hong2 actually now has a very good flank angle. TP coming in from both top laners as well. Dragon drops the 3k. Explosive cast dropped by Yubel. Definitely better than his last one. But Cassante has gone unstoppable. We'll see if he goes all out as well. Tidal Wave hits 3. Yubel stunned up. Waco now on the chase. And Hellpigs definitely on the retreat now. Taco to see if he can do Cassante things on the back end of that. Leading them away from the rest of his team so they can get down to safety. But Waco gonna chase this one down. Will likely get the kill here. Meanwhile, Hong2 finally acts on that flank that he had, but Arja is gonna spot him out, and Husha, that route chases him down. Kill picked up by Husha, and really, really well played for PSG Talon. They don't pick up the Dragon, but somehow come out on top in that fight.
Yeah, I'm not totally sure what went wrong in the whole of the team fight, but I think Hong2 really mis-executed on the side. One problem of going for the flank as Akali is if you end up behind a wall, it's that you have to use your E just to get over it. And E is such a big part of Akali's damage that oftentimes it's better just to flash and then use your E for damage, But here, just kind of ended up not finding anything. And I kind of want to take a replay and see what happened to the rest of the members, because it kind of felt like without the Akali to get in there and take out the Zerial Yuumi, they just kind of stalled out of damage. Here we see Hong2 can't quite find the angle, and it looks like there just isn't really any threat onto Wako. Once Hong2 is kind of disabled on the side, like Wako just ends this fight pretty much at full HP as the Zeri, and Yubao as well. Just doesn't take enough damage to really ever be threatened. Yeah. PSG just as a whole positioned a lot better and just, kind of took the fight that way.
Definitely pretty rough for Hellpigs. Taco trying to do as much as he can at the end of that fight, going all out on the Cassante, but by then it's too little too late. Definitely do feel like a big point for why PSG won that fight was Yubao's explosive cast at the very start. Kind of, spreading Hellpigs out, making them disoriented a little bit, and also just the extra damage it pumps out as well. Really forced Hellpigs back. And, if you reach the point in the fight where Waco on the Zeri is just chasing you down and you have nothing to do, or nothing available rather to turn around with, it just feels lost for you at that point.
Yeah. Now, Hillpigs, they did manage to pick up the dragon, but it does feel a bit like a consolation prize. I don't think it really does a whole lot for you here. And gold lead is basically the exact same. You actually might look for something in the side lane.
Or pops the perfect execution. Hong2 still has heads available as well. Does pop it out, but he goes straight into the waiting arms of Husha. Roots him down. Bramble Smash goes down. And Hong2 goes down.
Yeah, I feel like Husha has been on top of Hong2 pretty much the entire game. I've just constantly seen him W. Maybe after he died under the tower, he's got something out for him. But they have a lot of control in this jungle. Probably can just look to start taking that tier 2 top. Now the tier 1 is actually still up mid for Hellpeg, so that kind of has to be broken before PSG can get anything too crazy.
Yeah. But you have to feel like this game is gradually starting to slip from Hellpeg's grasp. They have lost their gold lead now, instead swinging it in the favor of PSG Talon. And we mentioned this earlier, but Taco, picking up all that plate gold, after doing that, it feels like the onus is on him to, start carrying these fights, but he hasn't really been able to find much impact. Actually, might even go down to Yubao here as well. Pops the stopwatch. That's not good. Hong2 is here, but he doesn't have anything available, really. He does have the shuriken, but would definitely not be advisable to go in on that one. And Taco too, once again, getting caught out when he shouldn't be.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. Ooh, actually engaging on Wako, but can't quite find him. Yeah, so much gold went onto this Gragas, but just hasn't found anything at all.
Oh, Arju jumping in, does hit the does hit the counter strike, but the root comes down as well. No cleans available anymore. Culling drops down on the backside. Who just dropped very low, but Arju tanks the rest of it. True team player Yubel popping the explosive cast and taking out ICA. Taco has gone all out on the Cassante, but Yubel is taking all of that up. No sweat at all. And once again, PSG Talon not only getting that kill on ICA, but also taking the tower as well.
Yeah, really nice flank at the end there by Yubao. Has been practicing his Gragas ults throughout this game. He's gotten a lot better.
Gradually getting better, yeah. Hong2 looking for a trade, but yeah, very, very good for PSG Talon. It feels like they should have been in a bit of a power trough. But now you can see Yubao almost hitting his 10 stacks on the Rod of Ages, and the Shadow Flame competed as well. And of course, the gold difference has swung in PSG's favor. Now 3k ahead from 1k a couple minutes ago. I'm not sure what Hellpigs are meant to do now. It feels like a lot of the onus is on Hong2 and Taco to find some sort of miracle flank, but when you're up against Zeri Yumi with 3 defensive combat summoners, seems pretty rough.
Yeah, I think this next fight is going to be very tough for Hellpigs. You don't have any sums on Tide, and I think he is facing so much threat on the enemy team composition that you probably just have to give this one up. Now, you don't really have to contest dragons, but at the same time, there isn't a whole lot you can trade for it. You can't really... You're not strong enough to go for enemy jungle camps. There's no side lane towers up that are, kind of accessible here. So Hellpigs are just going to give this and kind of buy more opportunity to farm, but I don't think it's going to be enough. They're going to have to find a pick onto one of the carries here, but picking a Silas that's building magic resist, and yeah, like the Zeri Yumi with so many combat sums, it's going to be really, really difficult.
Yeah, especially because it looks like Woody is occasionally opting to hop on Yubel as well, and that can just be really scary. You've got a Silas, 10 stacks on Rod of Ages, 2 full items completed. With a Yumi, with flash up, seems pretty hard for him to fight. Yubel going to be looking in with the chains, but doesn't quite connect. Archie as well, looking for a stun. Tide doesn't have cleanse or flash available anymore, so he's going to go down to Archie. IC8 now the next target. Yubel chasing him down, hits the chains, gets stunned up. He's on a rampage. IC8 falling down like it's nothing, and Hong2, he's got the widest flank of all time, but I don't know if they're going to be able to do anything here. Taco and Hong2, see what they can do here. Taco 2 as well is in the area, but I don't see how he can really do much here. He does get spotted out by Arjun. Yubel going to try and turn their attention to him as well, but wait, Taco hasn't gone all out quite yet. It's going to drop it very soon. You have to hope, but Flashes looks for Waco, but he's already too low HP. Taco 2, now the next target. Waco going to slowly chase him down. He has to dodge his body slam here, but wait, he's going over the wall. Definitely not what you want if you're Hellpigs. Double kill for Waco, and now Hong2, the last surviving member, not going to be surviving much longer, it seems like. It does get slowed, but actually is going to make it out with the use of the perfect execution and the flash.
He might actually get chased.
He's a bit thirsty for it. If he checks this pixel bush, Hong2 might actually be in trouble. I'm not sure what the move speeds are, but I'm not sure what you guys are trying to do here. Maybe just trying to dissuade.
Yeah, maybe just stop the reset so you can't TP back. But that will be the Baron going over to PSG. And I think Yeah, really nice punish, especially to kill Tide with no sums here. RG managed to find the angle onto him, and Lucian's just trying to cull him off him, but it really just doesn't do anything at this point. And I think, you know, this went from Hellpigs having that 3k gold lead, or something like that, maybe 2k in the early game, but like we said, it was never really blowing the game open enough for it to actually mean anything. And I think now you really see PSG as both their superior scaling comp, but also just their superior team fighting skill really showing up here, and they moved to 12-2 with a 6k gold lead and a Baron.
Yeah, I definitely feel like PSG are starting to run away with this game. Let's take a look at how that all unfolded.
Yeah, so the initial engage was kind of kited out fairly well, but I think the TP from RG on the Jax was really, really good, and that kind of sealed the deal up there. Did end up taking Lucian down, and Hong2 can't really find anything here. There's honestly just no one that's squishy enough for him to kill. IC8 caught out as well. With the Lucian already dead, isn't going to offer much to the fight. And I feel like the rest of them here, at this point, you're kind of feeling desperate. I feel like realistically you can't contest the Baron, but you also sort of have to, right? Like the game is so far behind if you give this up, and just get engaged on, and yeah, it's a tough decision. I think ultimately you're probably better off just pushing out waves and resetting, but the game does look really rough if you give that Baron up.
Yeah, it was a good engage from Husha, being able to, you know, separate the key members of HPS. But wait, Husha's going back in again, roots up, Tide, and IC8 as well. They're forced to run away. IC8 jumping very low. It's going to get picked off. You have to assume that Hong2 is in with the TV, dropped to half HP. Husha actually gets shut down by Taco with the explosive cast. Taco, you know, picking up his first kill, looking pretty good. But IC8 and Tide very low. Same with Hong2. I have to see if PSG, they might still be able to capitalize on this despite Husha going down. But the members of Hellpigs looking to go back to the fountain and regain their HP.
Yeah, I think it was a bit ambitious from Husha. Could probably just play this a little slower, but really wanted to force the issue. And it was actually interesting because IC8 just pretty much walked out of there on 1 HP and no one really looked at him. So it was a bit of a heist, and I think that does slow down PSG's game a bit. Probably just going to have to wait for Husha to respawn, but they still have a couple waves left of Baron, although now with everyone in the base, you kind of feel like can't do a whole lot with it. At the same time, PSG, they really don't need to rush the game. Like, they outscaled, they're really far ahead. They've got Dragon coming up in a minute. If they just play it slow and steady, there's pretty much no chance they win, or sorry, no chance they lose this game.
Yeah, something interesting is that you guys actually opted for the Banshee's Veil. I feel like that's not that great in this game. Like, it feels like it can be very easily procced by like a stray Lucian W or like a little barrel roll from Taco 2.
I think normally when you're buying Banshees on Silas, you're not really buying it for the shield at all. You're literally just buying it for the magic resist. And I think kind of makes sense here, right? Like, to be honest, there just isn't a lot of damage at all on Hellpigs, but I think a lot of it will come from their Gragas Akali. So I like it, especially if you opt not for going the Merc Treads against the Akali and Gragas early. Definitely lowers his damage output, but I think it's probably worth it at this point. Like, you're not, as long as you don't get one shot, you're just going to win, right? And I think, yeah, smart itemization out of Yubao. Maybe a little insecure, could just buy a Medjay's and a Rabadon's, but also might lose the game, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fair choice. Definitely would prefer winning the game over losing it. Something also to note is that PSG, they have got 3 stopwatches on Arja, Yubao, and Waco. So even if Hellpigs find a really good angle, it's hard for them to win this next fight. Yubao might actually find Taco 2 here. Somehow, Taco 2 keeps managing to get caught out in every game. I'm not sure. Maybe, I don't know. They've just got like GPS tracking on him or something. They just know where he is on the map at all times.
Yeah, that was actually really weird. Like, I wonder why Yubao even found him there. Okay, I think we will definitely be kind of chilling here for at least a couple more minutes, but I do think once this next Baron goes over for PSG, they probably should be able to break the base and probably win the game off it. And even if they don't, 4th Dragon will be coming up in 4.5 minutes. So lots of win conditions here for the PSG. You really kind of have to find a way for them to lose rather than the many ways they can win, right? And I feel like on the other side, Hellpigs are sort of destined to lose at this point unless they can find something really crazy.
Yeah, they need some sort of miracle from Hong2 or Taco. Tide is still doing quite a lot of damage, but it feels like it's not really enough to melt through the tanky bruises on the side of PSG. Especially when they have stopwatches available. You have to imagine it's not easy for them to step up against team composition that PSG have for themselves.
Yeah, the 3 stopwatches really just give an extra bit of safety to a comp that's already so safe. You really don't have a lot of options as Hellpigs here. I think you kind of you almost can't do anything proactive. You just kind of have to hope that PSG mis-executes somehow, but I really don't see it happening. Maybe if we'd see another big dive out of Husha, you know, he's had some trouble diving towers this game. It's happened a couple times.
Yeah, Alpix trying to wrestle some control in the jungle, but it's just so difficult. You can see how much fog of war they're playing with. They have absolutely no vision, pretty much anywhere on the map. Husha gonna try and see how far in he can get. With Woody has his pocket Yuumi.
Yeah, and with this full topside control, you probably can just start the Baron on spawn if you want. If Hellpig's come to... Ooh, actually, maybe looking.
Waco does have the option of sliding over the wall, so not in too much there. Husha, on the meantime, forcing IT to flash with that flank that he has. Archer taking turns, soaking up that culling. Protect Husha as well. But they're still going to remain relatively healthy. Taka2 is in the area now, but Waco and Yubao going in. They're going to turn it around onto Waco, but he's still very, very healthy. Taka goes all out here, gonna see what he can do, but ultimately not gonna have enough damage. Hongtu is here now as well. This might be what they need to turn it around, but Hongtu has already dropped very low. Tide and Icy doing a lot on the back end of that. Actually, Waco might be in a bit of trouble, but no, he's not. He's got Zeri Yuumi, level 16. They're chasing him down. Tide forced to flash away. Oh, might actually pick up. Oh, the stopwatch coming in handy there for Waco. Emote popped for Tide, and Hongtu, where is he? He's on the other side of the map. He's doing some sightseeing on the rift. Might get chased down here. Oh, the sampling! He doesn't quite connect, but Husha... Oh, no, that's not it. That's not it.
Yeah, she got him over the wall.
Yeah, oh, Hongtu, yeah.
Okay, goes down to the burn.
And that is actually even worse for Hellpix, because now his time is just so out of sync with the rest of his team, and PSG, once again, coming out extremely on top in that fight.
Yeah, I think the fact that PSG can just engage that with pretty much the Zeri face checking everything and they still manage to win the fight is, you know, it's just a sign of how far ahead they really are here. Gonna pick up this Baron and could honestly just reset, probably pick up the 4th Dragon as well. And I really just don't see a way PSG lose at this point. I feel like they have the superior comp, they have basically everything they need. Let's take a look at this replay. So, yeah, it starts off, honestly, I feel like kind of good for Hellpigs. Barker's like in the middle of the team and takes so much damage, but with the Yuumi, just refuses to die. And now all the damage is gone. Hellpigs are a very cooldown-based team here, and with all the cooldowns gone, there's just nothing left.
Yeah, Taka 1 really not able to do, you know, the typical Cassandre things that we've seen. He's just a bit too far behind and not really able to make a dent into PSG's tanky members. And you can see Waka here just... you know, diving right into the tower. That's when you can tell the game is in a very rough state. He is level 17 now, got the Guardian Angel 2, as well as the Yuumi, as well as, you know, an abundance of summoners when they do come back up, available to help protect them. And it feels like Waco is really just unstoppable now on the Zeri. Tago trying to be unstoppable on his own, doing the all out. But there's not much coming out from that. Waco,
wow.
Oh no,
wow,
Hongtu, they just can't find an angle. Tide drops the culling as well, and there's just no more key abilities left on the side of Hellpig. Explosive Cask is down, and Archer's just going straight into the tower. Doesn't have a care in the world. Tide 98 might try and pick him up, does pop the stopwatch, but is going to leap strike out of that one. Thumbs up from Husha. Yeah. I'm actually getting a lot of damage back on Husha, but does get rooted up. He's just evaporated from the map. And with him, IC8, and with those two, likely the game for PSG Talon. That's an interesting emote. I haven't seen that one before. But it is a bit of a slow bleed. Ultimately, 34 minutes into the game, PSG, they turn it around. It was a good early game for Hellpigs, but it's just not enough to stop PSG from claiming their 4th win of the split.
Yes, they end up picking up the game 21-3, and there was only that little bit of the early game where they were behind, and that was kind of to be expected just based off the draft. Now, I do think Hellpigs, the thing they tried where they kind of picked Cassandre into 2 bans and dropped the jungler, I think that's, you know, definitely nice creativity, but it just didn't really seem to pay off. Now, that being said, there is a pretty big skill difference between the teams, so how much can we really say from draft? I feel like a lot of those team fights, especially early before it, you know, got to the point where they're just getting stat checked, were just played better, right? Like there were times where Hongtu couldn't really find the flank. There were times where people just died way too early on the engage.
Yeah, I feel like PSG Talon, you know, they drafted themselves a team comp where, you know, they still have options for skirmishing, but at the end of the